Hey, welcome to Schmuckast.
Welcome to Schmuckast. I'm Lenny Sherman.
And this is your other friend, Matt Weatherford. How you doing?
I'm all right, man.
What's going on, huh?
Amanda and me went to the movies last night. We were celebrating a late Mother's Day.
Yay!
And we went to go see this movie called Heaven is for Real.
Yeah.
You know, going into a movie like this, that it's going to have some religious undertones. Essentially, it's based on the book.
Yeah, I know about the movie. It's about a kid that has a what they call near-life death experiences.
Yep.
And he sees heaven.
And he
comes back
sees
and
heaven,
tries
he
to-
comes
yeah.
back to heaven. So it's kind of like, you ever see those old Oh God movies?
No.
With George Burns, and this little girl gets a visit from George Burns, who's God, and tells her to spread the message of God. It's a very preachy movie, and that's the thing about it. Like, you go to a movie like this, it's called Heaven is for Real. Well, obviously, you going into it, I knew that it's going to appeal to people who believe in God, believe in the afterlife, or are somewhat religious. Which, I am not religious. I am Jewish. I'm very proud of my Jewish heritage, but I question a lot of things on religion, and I don't take religion as seriously as other people do. I'm not an atheist by any stretch.
Wow, Glenn knew that, really, before us?
Yeah, I'm watching the movie, and I'm kind of digging it. The thing about this movie also is it's like, why should I pay to see this movie in theaters when I can see it on Lifetime for free? That's the kind of movie it is. They live in this small town. The main character is really the dad, and I remember the dad had a really hot wife. I don't know her name. Really smoking wife. I'm like,
Hey, man,
wow.
come on. It's Mother's Day, dude.
Well, I'm just saying. That's one of the things I was noticing in the movie. And they have two kids. They've got the 4-year-old boy who is like the one who goes to heaven, and they've got a daughter. And the dad, this is a small town, so like everybody in the town works like 5 or 6 different jobs. It's weird because the father, like, he's like a carpenter, but he also lays carpet for the church, and he's a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy who played Mr. Sandman in Spider-Man 3, he's in it.
Okay.
He's the one.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
How'd
He's
I
in
know
it.
that?
He's one of the guys. I don't know.
How did I know
You love
that?
Spider-Man 3
God,
so
my
much.
trivia. Yeah, I loved Spider-Man 3. We should talk about that, too, sometimes.
Okay.
God, I love Topher Grace's Venom.
Yeah. Anyway, he's the dad's friend, and he runs like the fire department. The dad also is in the fire department, so he's got like 5 different jobs. It's really weird to help pay the bills, and they're not doing very well financially. And when his son goes to the hospital and they give him his operation, at first I'm waiting for somebody to die because Amanda was telling me she'd seen the trailer or something, and she said that it was about like a kid who dies and comes back like 20 years later, and so I'm sitting there, and they set it up like something happens to the dad at the beginning where he gets a really bad injury, and you think, okay, well, maybe he's going to die. He doesn't die. Then the kid, he has like appendicitis.
Oh,
Okay.
no. So anyways, he dies. And
So he doesn't die. That's the thing. He's on the operating table, and when they're operating on him, he says that he's able to see his dad, he sees his mom, he sees all these things. He goes to heaven. He sees his grandfather. He sees Jesus Christ. And there's a scene where he sees this little girl with red hair, and he gives her they hug each other, and I'm like, okay, this has either got to be like a daughter that his sister that he lost or something. And you find out at the end that the mom had a miscarriage, and that was who he saw.
I should probably want to watch this movie, shouldn't I?
Why would you want to watch it?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know, but now I wouldn't. Now I don't need to.
Well,
Now
the reason why I brought the movie up, the movie's okay. I mean, it's getting some kind of weird reviews online. I mean, if you believe in God, it's...
Well, there's been a lot of religious movies, not with this, but also with Noah that came out.
there
with
are a
Russell
lot of
Crowe,
religious movies coming out in the last
there's a lot
few
of good
years.
stories
It's
in the
weird.
Bible, and that can good stories always translate to good cinema. But you're right, religion is such a,
There's a way of talking about the Bible without blatantly doing a story out of the Bible, though, There's a lot of good
Well, no, I'm
moral
just saying
stories.
it makes for good cinema. It can.
Yeah.
If done right. And this was not done right.
I'm not saying it wasn't done right. I'm just...
So what happened? Did
well,
he get like a...
it's got a very kind of...
I wish I had seen it.
It's got a very schmaltzy ending. Where, she's pregnant again, and they're like, oh, we're pregnant again, yay, and something happens. Oh, because he sees his little sister up in heaven. That's when they start believing him that, oh, he really did see heaven, because they never told him about their miscarriage and everything like that. That got to me, but everything else was kind of schmaltzy. And
well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. What theater did you go to?
The John R.
Oh, really? John R.
John R.
14?
No, not John R. Star Gratiot, I'm sorry.
Oh, Star Gratiot, okay.
I'm out of it right now.
Good theater? Were there a bunch of kids there? Packed crowd?
It was me and Amanda till the trailer started. Then it was like 8 old people who were probably...
So what are we going to go see? Let's go to the movies. I mean, there's a few.
Well, I wasn't done yet.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Well,
cut
keep
me
going
off.
with your synopsis. Well, I know.
This isn't a synopsis. It's just when we got home last night, my mother-in-law was watching the kids. She's Jewish. She's very Jewish.
She's very Jewish?
You can tell she gets annoyed that I'm not as Jewish as her.
She's a real Jew.
Yeah.
Hide your money.
So, really?
Hey, now be nice.
Well, that's what they say. Anyway, sorry.
Um.
I'll shut up.
So, she wanted to see the movie too because she's a woman and this is a woman's movie.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Ooh, I really wanted to see the movie." And she was like, "Did you like it?" And I'm like, "It was okay." I was like, but really, people who are religious and believe in God and kind of want, a movie that talks about that kind of stuff. This is their movie. And she was like, "Oh, is it? Do you got to be Christian to like it?" Like getting into all. This is why you don't talk about religion in schools. This is one of those things that religion is something obviously people have very strong opinions on. They build beliefs on. So I hate getting into religion.
Well, I
with
really
people.
believe people see the other side. I believe in that. I mean, why do they come? But they don't want to just make it up. Maybe it was a hallucination under all the drugs that they're under when they die. But I really believe people can leave their body and actually see things and stuff like that.
People are going to believe.
It's very interesting to think about.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to believe what they want to believe. The reason why people believe in heaven is because they want to believe there's something after they die. They
Right.
don't want to believe that there's nothing there. All I'm saying is, I don't know.
Well, I think there's a reason we're here, in a way. You got to be.
But there's no
a
proof.
reason.
You're going to believe whatever you want to believe.
You don't
But
like
anyway,
to think that, yeah.
well, go ahead. I'm not
No,
cutting you off.
I made my point. No.
But I told my mother-in-law, I was like, well, I'm just not, you know me, I'm not that religious. And she gave me, like, the devil's eye, man. She just
You're not
stared me
religious.
down. I'm not that religious.
Oh.
I'm Jewish. I believe in God, but I also question a lot of the faith things because there's no proof. If you believe in heaven, I don't believe it's because you've seen heaven. I believe it's because you want to believe in heaven.
Do you believe they're making it up when they have near-death experiences like that and they actually see the tunnel? And
I don't know.
They see their
I'm not
parents.
saying they're making it up. I'm just saying, me personally, the reason why I have a hard time believing it in faith is because I've never had that experience. If, God forbid, there is a time where I'm on my deathbed or I'm have a near-death experience and I see that, well, then I can kind of
So
look
you're
at it.
saying there's a chance they might be making it up?
I don't know if they're making it up. I don't know why people would make it up.
Right.
I think, but it does kind of beg the... And that was the most interesting part of the movie, was it they did it in such a way where you as the audience, as the viewer, I was going, is he making it up? Is he? Because think about it. He's 4 years old. 4-year-old kids, they have... I told you, the best stories are told when you're a kid because you have that innocence in you.
Yeah.
And his dad's a preacher, so that's what he all day long. These kids, they go to church every day with his dad and everything, so he knows about Jesus. He knows about all these things. So it makes sense that the kid would kind of fabricate this story. That's what you're wondering, but then he starts to talk about things that really he shouldn't know about. Like, for one scene is the dad narrates the story, and at the very beginning he talks about his grandfather died. So when the kid goes to heaven, he sees his great-grandfather.
Yeah.
And the dad is like, he really wants to believe the son, but, the son is making him out to be like a nutcase. Like, the town people, because this is a small community, they don't know what to make of it. So he goes upstairs and starts tearing through these old photos of his grandfather, finds one of his grandfather, like, right before he died, and shows it to his son, and he was like, is that who it was? Is this who you saw? Boy says no. So he goes digging through some more photos and takes out a photo of when the grandfather was like in his 20s or 30s, shows it, and the kid was like, yeah, that's him. He was like, in heaven, everybody's young.
Huh.
It was interesting, like I said,
this is an interesting topic because I've been watching Sopranos. I'm the second season in, and Christopher was shot and stuff, and he was in the hospital and he was dying. He had a near-death experience where he actually saw his father, and he said, "I went to hell." He was sure of it. He said, he was like, it was a bar, it was an Irish bar, and it's St. Patty's Day every day. And he said his dad lost every card game he played, and every night they kill him the same way he was killed in real life. Every night, and that's hell. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, it's kind of... I just saw that last night, so it's kind of cool you bring this stuff up, and I just seen that episode. But
Yeah.
that was pretty weird.
and I don't want to...
They were saying that might not be hell, but it might be purgatory. That's like... They call that like a little detour before you go to paradise.
Right.
Things like that, which is interesting. They say how many sins you have, times it by 6 and divide it by 2. That's how many days you'll have to spend. I might have to do 6,000 years. Anyway. I didn't mean to get off topic. No, it's the same topic. It's the same idea,
No, that's fine, and I don't want
an
to.
interesting
I don't want to
concept.
make this like the religious.
I know.
Schmuckcast
Wow, the
today.
religious schmuckcast.
Yeah.
There should be like a disclaimer.
But all I'm saying is you're the one who said it.
No, I know, but I'm on a roll.
All the jelly roll.
Ooh.
All I'm saying is, I question a lot of things about faith in general, and I am Jewish, so like obviously what I grew up to believe in was we don't have like a Jesus Christ, but he's still kind of mentioned, and I kind of find Christianity more interesting than, because Judaism, like, it's almost like Judaism is trying to compete with Christianity. Like if you really look at the story of Christmas, of Jesus coming back, the resurrection, and you look at like the story of Hanukkah. The story of Hanukkah is not that engaging. It's just not. But it's like the Jews have to compete with somebody.
The whole point of Jesus is that he was human and he died, and that's what made the process possible for us to move on in the afterlife. That had to happen for us. It was like his gift to us, for Jesus to be here as a human like us and die like us and ascend. That's what made the process possible. That's why he did it. That's why they say he sacrificed his one and only.
And it's not. I want to move on in a minute because I don't want this to be like a didactic podcast.
But where'd the movie go? I'm just interested where it ended.
Well, it ended with, like I said, he
lied.
It was all a dream.
Oh, damn it, son.
Luigi really is gay.
But
Well, once he mentioned that, he saw this. It was kind of sad because he sees his unborn sister in heaven, and the mom asked, well, what was her name? And he says, well, she didn't have a name. You never gave her one. And the mom starts crying because she was like, we miscarried like a few months before they were born. They didn't know what the sex was, so they couldn't name him. So that was kind of sad. But then at the end, like, they figure, like, it's kind of dumb because it's wrapped up in like 5 minutes. The city all of a sudden accepts him again. The dad gives this speech because at the church they're so afraid that he's losing his mind, and he's making the church that he works at into like a circus basically because of this story with his son. They're thinking of firing him. So he comes back at the end, gives like a little 5-minute speech about what his son saw. Everybody accepts him again. The mom comes and says, "Oh, I'm pregnant again," and they run off happily ever after. I thought that was kind of cheesy.
So in the end, it wasn't a very good movie, but it made you think about things. Pretty much. But it wasn't a very good movie. You wouldn't see it again?
Nah. I mean,
what does it get on a Schmuckcast meter?
Like 1 to 10?
1 to 69.
1 to 69?
No, 1 to 10. Would you give it a 4?
No, maybe a 6.
Well, that's good. Well,
because any movie that you can go and enjoy. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch.
Well, anyways, so
any movie you can
final
go
thoughts?
see any movie you can go see and enjoy. It wasn't a bad movie. Any movie you can go see and enjoy for a couple hours and talk about it on podcast.
Well, any of them
gets points for me.
I wish I had seen it now, because
which is why The Phantom Menace is such a great movie.
Yeah, but it made it's what was the word I just said it. Anyways, I wish I had seen the movie because we could have talked about it, but I'm sitting here like a fucking mute. Just listening. Oh, well, you don't say. Huh? Well, let's talk about the two comedies, because, you had a top 5 comedy, I had a top 5 comedy, and we both watched one of ours, and I was hoping we could talk about Police Academy and Caddyshack, just because I know you go so far back with Police Academy.
Sure.
I did enjoy it. It definitely had some funny parts, and I kind of like the premise of them going through training. When did you first see Police Academy? Let's go over that.
When I was really young, this is the age of, like, when I was watching a lot of R-rated movies, like Friday the 13th and all that stuff when I was young, so Police Academy was right up there, and I think what interested me about that was I had seen, Police Academy was an animated kids show in the 80s, and that's what I first saw. Then I realized there were these live-action movies, and
unfortunately,
what was funny about them was they were all PG. They were all meant for kids. Well, then I saw the first one on TV once, and at the beginning of a movie, when you see it on like Showtime or HBO, it says the following film has been rated whatever, and I'm like, it's going to be PG, and it was rated R. It it freaked me out because I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm watching it, and first of all, it was really. I mean, even when I was little, this is like when I was 7 or 8, I was laughing. Come on,
it's pretty. Yeah,
a cop gets his fucking head stuck up a horse's ass. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
like
awesome.
That's funny. I don't understand why that movie is so.
Funniest part though, I think, was when he's looking at those girls naked, and then the chief comes over, get out of here, and the girl goes, oh my god!
But that's the thing, like,
he's gotta run away.
It had nudity in it. I'm like, this this is a kid series.
Yeah. Well, the sequels have definitely been really panned. The original obviously isn't that bad, but
you know me, I like sequels when they're done right, but these sequels.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. I'd rather watch other movies than that. Obviously, you'll need the 2 hours back. But I like how they came through with the riot and then the big black. I'm here to watch you kill these crackers. Or what did he say?
I don't remember.
What's your favorite part? I always say the blowjob scene was really funny.
Yeah, I love that.
Blowjob
And
scene
then
was
Steve
funny.
Guttenberg gets his comeuppance at the end. The guy who plays Commandant Lassard was in Punky Brewster. You ever see that show?
No,
Oh.
but that's still pretty
Anyway,
cool.
he's a really good. He's like the only one. There's a few of them that are in all of them. Steve Guttenberg stopped coming after the fourth one, and then the guy who played Harris, I think his name is G.W. Bailey. He did like Short Circuit also.
That movie also contains the best flip over of a car I've ever seen. When he's going to the thing and he total fail.
Hightower,
He just, like,
you are
he
through,
totally-
Mister.
Totally just falls.
You messed up big, Mister.
I like how the black girl freeze ass off. She can finally speak finally after being on mute the whole time.
Don't move, dirtbag.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
I love the characters in that movie.
Yeah,
I love
the diversity.
I love Jones, the guy who made all the sound effects with his mouth.
Of course.
He's
Oh,
like the funniest character in the whole. They were thinking of rebooting Police Academy.
Oh God.
And he's one of the few characters, him and Steve Guttenberg, that were thinking of coming back. So I like Hightower, Tackleberry, the nut with the guns.
Yeah.
A lot of memorable characters in that movie, and it's just a really funny, memorable movie from when I was a kid.
Feel good movie.
And I think the sequels diminished that, because if it hadn't become a series of really bad sequels...
Wasn't
Matt
Bobcat
Weatherford-
in the sequels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's actually pretty funny. He goes to, like, in the fourth one, he goes to, like, an old folks home and reads them some poetry, and he, like, scares everybody. They get really, really stupid after a while. Like, they're just really forced. Alyssa! Shut up!
Wow, we captured that on the podcast. Shut up! Anyways, I'm a good dad. Don't make me get the hose.
Get in the basement with the rats!
So anyways, Caddyshack 2, I really hope you enjoyed that. That's one of my favorite comedies.
Caddyshack 2? That sucked.
Oh, well, no, but, Well, what I like about Caddyshack 2, at least, was a great cast they had. All four big names. Even Ted Knight was a huge star. The old guy, Smales or whatever, that running the place.
We're not talking about Caddyshack sequel. We're talking about...
No, well, yeah. Well, Bill Murray and Chevy and Rodney. What I like is it was all very balanced. Oh, sorry, I just got coffee on you. It was all very balanced. Each one got their own screen time. And you seem to laugh a lot,
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I think you'll find that more you watch it, it just grows on you and grows on you. And
yeah.
There's all kinds of...
comedy is very subjective, but there are some movies that you get more at.
I like to go for...
I can pretty much tell you, yeah, I love...
the Lucas department made that,
Oh, Island.
Yeah. Yep. It actually looked pretty good, too. Really.
But
Damn.
had I seen Caddyshack by myself for the first time, I don't know if I would have appreciated it as much. I think some movies, you get something out of it more when you see it with someone else.
Well, I ain't paying 50 cents for no Coke. Oh, you get no Coke. Well, yeah, the whole movie. I mean, there's all kinds of good stories. Bill Murray was talking about how, I don't know if you know Stevie Nicks is. She's Fleetwood Mac, whatever. But she said she was really depressed one day, and she came up to him saying that she watched Caddyshack all week, and it cheered her up because she could watch it endlessly. And just, he said it felt so good to give people happiness, And it was a really good performance by Bill Murray. He was like the one part of the movie I didn't really like, but the more I watched him, I'm like, man, what a good performance, though. He was all like, just the mannerisms, and I smell Varmin Poontang. I hope we get to watch it again, man. It really is a classic comedy, and it's beloved by a lot of people. And I'm glad I got to watch it with you for the first time. And
I did really enjoy
funny.
it. Yeah, I mean,
Everyone's on the top of their game.
I'd never seen Caddyshack before. I just saw really like the trailers and things. So when I saw,
like when the black guy jumps out of the boat, when he's on the boat, and the black guy's like, "Oh!"
and his eyes pop out of his skull. That was weird.
I'm sorry, that's just funny. Oh my god.
Well, I was surprised at just how much stuff they crammed into that movie. There were
Yeah.
a lot of like gags and stuff, a lot of like big things happening, and
$5,000 you must have putt.
yeah.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing. I love the old man. A lot of people say he's almost the best part of the movie. The old, I like the black guy with his shoe, motherfucker. See what I mean? Yeah, it's just a solid movie. It's so cool to look back at that and just knowing who would have seen that coming to this movie would still be talked about after all this time.
I had it on VHS for so many years, and I never.
The sequel is terrible. We should try to watch the sequel sometime. I've never seen it.
Who's in it? Is anyone?
Chevy Chase. You know what he said after they were done? He goes, "Hey, call me when you add the laugh track." That's what he said. Chevy Chase is in the sequel, but yeah. Wow. And I think Dan Aykroyd actually is in it too. He replaced Bill Murray's character. It's kind of funny. Replacing Pete Venkman with, what was his name? Stance?
Yeah.
Was it Stance? Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Ray.
So anyways. Look, really hot chick too. I like what you said during the sex scene. You're like, I don't care how many cameramen are in there. That's hot.
Yeah. That was a hot scene. I was
surprised. And he goes into
surprised.
the bathroom. She's like, can you help me with my... Actually, my favorite might be the pool scene, though. When the lifeguard...
Doo-doo!
You shave your ass. Oh yeah, Mommy, it's a duty. And then Bill Murray finds it, and he's like, "It's not so bad." Yeah, and I do appreciate comedies that are so short. It's only like an 85-minute movie, so they go by so fast. Comedy should never be over 2 hours.
It didn't seem that short. It seemed like a 2-hour movie, but I think that's just because there was a lot of stuff happening.
There is. You're right. There is so much. Yeah. No, the golf was.
Yeah.
Anyways, what else do we want to talk about? All right. Well, I'm just those 2 movies we did watch recently, so figured we should at least talk about those. What's the best Police Academy sequel?
If I had to pick one, the third one isn't that bad. Thing is when you go from police, it's funny, but it's rated PG, so it's not as it's not.
Roger Ebert tore that movie apart, man. He was like, "Oh,
well,
you and your friends should pull straws and see who has to watch."
They're very badly hated movies, but
Roger Ebert.
But at the same time, there were a bunch of sequels. They don't make sequels to movies that bomb usually.
Yeah, it didn't make money, I would imagine.
I mean, they were very popular with kids, but I mean, at the same time, the series went on for exactly 10 years. 1994 was when the last one came out, so it
still holds up well now that you're older. You still
the
get
first
the same...
movie does, yes.
That's good.
But when you go from like the first one to the second one, there's a huge drop off.
Yeah.
Huge. Like
weren't those like straight to DVD just about?
No. Maybe the last one was.
Did they even have DVD back then? Straight to VHS.
Yeah.
Did they do that?
No, they were the first 6 at least were theatrical.
Oh, what else are they going to reboot? I want to know what they're going to reboot. I'm ready. I want to get on the reboot train, Sherman. I'm ready. I don't know. Man, there's just so many. Schindler's List.
Can you just call me Lenny and not call me Sherman?
All right. I like your last name, but all right.
No. I like my last name too, but Sherman sounds like
a director.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. That's what you said on our thing.
Lenny Sherman does. But
you said Matt Weatherford sounds like a porn director.
It does.
All right, I'm sorry. Anyways, Lenny, I want to get on the reboot train. What are we going to reboot?
I don't want them rebooting. You know what I saw the other day? I saw a poster. Didn't they just do a movie a few years ago called Think Like a Man with Steve Harvey? Didn't they just do one a couple years ago?
I don't know.
They did. It's called Think Like a Man. It's based on Steve Harvey's book.
Think Like a Woman?
No, there's another one coming out called Think Like a Man based on Steve Harvey's book. Why are they rebooting shitty movies?
No, I think you're thinking of Mel Gibson, aren't you?
No, it's Steve Harvey.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, fuck Steve Harvey.
I'm just saying they just had a fucking movie come out 2 years ago.
Well, look at Spider-Man. That's just ridiculous. Spider-Man 3 came out, 2008 or something? Fucking 2 years later. Oh, we're rebooting.
I can't believe this is the second movie in 10 years called Spider-Man 2.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Have you seen it? Let's go see it. They killed Gwen Stacy.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I knew about that before the movie came out because.
Which sucks because those two are like the best part of. I don't like the new movies so much, but those two are very good together. Obviously, because they're a real life couple, but they have good chemistry.
To be honest, I mean, I didn't mind Gwen Stacy. What's her name? The actress
Emma Stone. Yeah.
I didn't mind her in the first one,
cute.
but I really liked Mary Jane in the Sam Raimi trilogy. I really did.
Kirsten?
Yeah.
That's the best she's ever looked. Especially that first movie. She looked dynamite.
Even though she didn't do anything besides cry the whole time.
You like the Spider-Man trilogy?
I do.
That's
and I mean, even Spider-Man 3 with all its flaws, it's not. I like that better than like the Amazing Spider-Man.
Right. You almost. Yeah.
I liked. Yeah. I mean, that Spider-Man 2, from what I'm hearing, is very much like Spider-Man 3. Like they're just balancing too much.
5 villains and
it's like
his mom's got AIDS.
Like everybody keeps what?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just plot after plot of trying to.
And everybody's trying to play it off like it's not a bad movie, but at the same time, everyone's like it's not good.
It's either. Not getting very good. Yeah, it feels more like a setup movie. That's what people are saying.
You know what I found? I don't know if you probably knew this, but I kind of found out that the reason why they're rebooting Spider-Man and all this is Sony. They have 3 years to make a Spider-Man movie. They have to make one contractually every 3 years to keep the license. On that third year, the year they don't make a Spider-Man movie, the rights automatically revert back to Marvel. That's what I heard.
Wow. So they have to make a movie.
They have to make it. And that's why they rebooted it. It was like...
Fuck quality. We have to make a movie.
There you go. And don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people like the Amazing Spider-Man, but I've also heard that if you like the Sam Raimi trilogy, you won't like the Amazing Spider-Man.
A lot of people did, but a lot of people didn't. To a lot of people, it was just pretty subpar. Especially when compared.
I gave it a chance. There's a lot of people who were like, they're rebooting it, fuck it, I'm not seeing it. I gave it a chance. I saw it. I honestly was very bored by it because the villain was uninspired, and they were retelling the same story.
He looked pretty cool, though. The lizard, I saw like the last hour of it.
Oh, with the lizard?
I was kind of like, eh.
It's like Godzilla.
It's like we just saw this fucking movie. I just saw the origin story. Do we really have to reboot this?
I know.
Let's reboot Bugs Bunny. Here you go.
You Wasco, you have it.
We got
Elmer Fudd, played by Chris Rock.
Get like a girl to do it. Some shit like that.
Bugs is getting blown by a female bunny.
What do you want to see rebooted? Surely there's movies that got to be rebooted. I mean,
I don't want to see anything rebooted. Come up with some original ideas.
I can't wait for that Friday the 13th sequel.
I was at the theaters yesterday. I know it was Tuesday, but there was nobody in the parking lot. And I'm like, maybe it's because people are in school. No, maybe it's just because they can't make fucking good movies
Well,
anymore.
the times are changing, my friend. You know, things are going digital now, and a lot of people are predicting in the future, in a few years, we'll see that movies, you know, the cinema could be in danger, because now movies can be... They could be, boom, right in your in your house the day they come out now. You know what I mean? The cinema in itself, in a theater, is not in danger, but, you know, like you said, though, granted, it was a Tuesday night.
Well, I am hoping that Hollywood is real. I really hope they start to lose a lot of fucking money. I really do, because I'm getting really fed up.
Spielberg and Lucas, you know, were the ones that were saying pretty much that's what's probably going to happen. They're going to lose a lot of money. They expect all this money out of these tentpole blockbusters, but...
It's just like, make something good.
You know what it is for me, man? It's superhero fatigue, man. I don't care about superheroes. I mean, I like superheroes, but, like, I've seen enough movies of them. I don't want to see more. And that's all there are now. It's Iron Man 4, there's, Avengers.
They're not even that interesting.
But I don't...
They're there the first weekend to make a ton of money, and then that's it. Like, The Avengers was a fun movie, but does anybody remember anything from that movie? Is anybody going to go pop in Avengers?
No, Avengers was good, granted.
Like, when was the last time you saw The Avengers?
Right? I just want a new Batman movie. That'd be kind of cool. I didn't like The Dark Knight Rises. That was kind of disappointing.
Really?
I don't know.
I wasn't as invested.
I do love The Dark Knight now.
I wasn't as invested in all three of those movies as everybody was, so personally I didn't mind Dark Knight Rises, but that being said, I felt it could have gone actually darker than it did.
I gotta say, I love The Dark Knight now. I mean, seeing it a few more times, it's like, it's such a deep movie, though. I mean, that really gets into the character of Bruce Wayne.
I like Dark Knight a lot,
but
I still maintain that the Joker carried that movie. That movie would not have been good if it hadn't been for the Joker.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that.
Well, and I like
Nolan. Absolutely
the
best, if not the only interesting part about that movie.
He's the best part of the movie, for sure. But Nolan's vision, I thought, did a lot. I liked how it probed deep into his character. You know, you didn't really see that in the earlier Batman films, granted.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Tim Burton's a little, but
even
not really.
Kevin Smith. I've been listening to a lot of Kevin Smith's podcasts lately. He was talking about it, and his favorite Batman is the Tim Burton one. He just thought that one got it right. You know, that, I mean, in terms of a comic book movie, what Christopher Nolan tried to do was take it and put it in a real-world setting.
One step.
And made it as real as possible. Like, it was really, those Batman movies are crime dramas.
Nothing wrong with that.
They're not real, no, they're not really...
That's what Batman is, in a way.
They're based off of comic books, but he did it in a very non-comic booky way.
Yeah.
And that's what Kevin Smith was predicting, was that in a few years, that is going to be like what you expect. Excuse me, every comic book movie you're going to see basically is going to be that vision, because they did so well, which, you know.
No, he did. No, I like the Tim better. That was a big deal back then, 1989.
Yeah, it was.
Fuck, man. Even back then they had fan rage. You know, no one liked the casting of Michael Keaton. No one wanted Tim Burton to direct it, because Tim Burton didn't really have a big resume under his belt at that point.
No.
Well, he did, but he had promise. You know, he had Beetlejuice and Pee-wee's. That was it. And they went on that. I mean, I don't know. I can kind of see why they chose him. I mean,
yeah,
he had that dark, you know. But you can even argue Jack Nicholson stole every scene he was in the original Batman.
Well, some people were saying that after seeing Heath Ledger, like, they go back to Jack Nicholson's performance, and they were like, well, he was just laughing his way to the bank. But I don't know. I thought Jack Nicholson.
Oh no, that's a great performance.
Was a really.
What
good
does that
player.
mean? He laughed his way to the bank.
Like, I don't know. He
phoned it in.
Pretty much.
No,
but I don't know. Yeah, it is.
No, it's a great performance. One of his best, actually. He has a career of a lot of them, but that one was awesome.
But if you look at the makeup that Heath Ledger put on, like, it takes place in a real world setting.
Didn't I tell you the real life incident when he got real mad at everybody, like at crew members and shit, about lighting, and he still had his makeup on?
Oh yeah.
They couldn't help laughing at him. He just looked so funny. He was like, "God damn it, assholes!" He was really pissed, but they just laughing at him. He had a smile painted. Tell that guy whose dick you're sucking, he's an asshole. Anyways, so what else is there, man? A lot of good casting for Star Wars. You know, I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I read that Adam Driver is going to be playing Han and Leia's child. You know, we're getting a lot more plot details now. There's a lot more of the story is coming out now.
Which kind of scares me. It really scares me, because I don't really... You know, it's funny. I have been looking online every day for a little bit of Star Wars information, but I don't want to know too much.
Right.
Probably by the time the movie comes out, I'm going to know.
Well, no, JJ's very good at being secret, and I think it's just... I think he owes it to... He feels that he owes a little bit to us by now, because, you know, they're starting to be in production, and the general story of what's going to be going on. What I'm worried about, it feels like the same damn story over again. You know, it kind of does. It's like the same plot details all over again. You know, I don't want it to be, you know, the same kind of movie.
Well,
but anyway, yeah.
It's kind of going back to like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. Like the very first Star Trek that he did was excellent because it took a lot of risks. I mean, it takes balls to take a legend like that, a legacy like Star Trek that has such a huge, beloved fan base, and to basically not walk over it. He was very respectful to it, but he was walking a very fine line, especially since Star Trek wasn't really his foray.
Yeah.
Or foray, whatever. But he did it very well.
Forte,
yeah. But Into Darkness, the biggest problem with that was I didn't feel they took enough risks. Like they started copying off Star Trek 2, and I'm really hoping that with Star Wars they're not just playing it safe and retelling the same story. Although Jedi is kind of like, you know, Death Star 2, even though the first one was destroyed easily.
Am I still wrong to think Jedi is? It just was lackluster to me. I gotta watch it again. Maybe it didn't. I love the first like hour of it. I really do. I love Jabba's palace, but to me, it just felt kind of weak in a way at the last hour. Just Han Solo especially felt kind of like a pussy. He lost like all his...
Teach their own, you know?
You tell me, fans. I don't know. I'm not saying I like Return of the Jedi. I'm not saying I don't like it.
A lot of people will tell you that of the original trilogy, they like Jedi the least. But I swear, when I was growing up, a lot of people like Jedi, held Jedi more favorably. Times change. People change their minds.
I like Jedi.
But my problem with the original Star Wars is it takes like an hour to really pick up. You know, and I guess back when it came out, it was interesting to see that cantina for the first time, to see these worlds.
What do you mean picking up?
It took an hour for the action to begin.
You had a gunfight right in the beginning.
Right. It had the big action scene at the beginning where the Tantive 4 is being chased by the Star Destroyer and you see Vader for the first time. But then, once you get to Luke, and between the time that you get to Luke and then they leave Tatooine on the Millennium Falcon, it takes a while to pick up. There's exposition with Obi-Wan.
Narrative and character development.
That's what all that was.
Okay.
Whereas, like, Empire, you know, that movie picks up and never stops.
No, for
and
sure.
Jedi, I felt, was the same way. There's rarely a dull moment. But the original Star Wars... and you know what? What's funny is Revenge of the Sith makes me appreciate A New Hope a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Because when it was just the original trilogy, I'm sitting there like... It's just like Luke talking to Obi-Wan and Luke whining to his aunt and uncle, and then... You know, they get destroyed by the stormtroopers.
Well, you find out a lot about that, though. Don't undersell it, you know. You learn about the Clone Wars and his father.
But at the same time, like, if you go from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope, now all of a sudden it's a totally different
We need
movie
to do that sometime, dude. We need to seriously sit there and watch Revenge of the Sith and then New Hope.
I think we should sit there and watch... We should watch The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and then Sith, and then A New Hope, because that's the way they were intended.
Fuck off. This podcast's over. Fuck. Man, we can. Hey,
I was reading a lot of pod. Some people do like written podcasts now, where it's literally people writing their. I don't know why they would do this.
Right, it's like writing a blog.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
That's what it is.
It's like five people writing a
it's a blog.
Well, it was like 5 people writing it together.
Oh, jeez.
And they were talking about X-Men. Oh. And the one guy was actually like, I liked The Last Stand, X-Men 3 the best out of all of them. And they were like, you leave this podcast right now, because that one's very hated by fans.
They call that trolling. Sometimes people will actually say that stuff on purpose, just to get a reaction.
Sometimes they're like me, who actually thought The Last Stand was the best X-Men movie.
You think that?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of this podcast right now, dude. What the fuck? I've never seen any of the X-Men movies, so I can't talk. I want to see X2. That one's supposed to be amazing. The second one.
My stance on it is
I've never seen
I'm not a comic book fan, so I don't go into these movies trying to compare them to the comics. And whether you say that you are or you're not, if you're a comic book fan, believe me, you are. You're going in there nitpicking every fucking thing. The thing that I liked about The Last Stand was in The Last Stand, Magneto develops, or the government develops a drug that can actually take away the mutants' powers. It was the first time, because if you're a bunch of mutants fighting each other and you're all like Wolverine, he's a great character, but he can't die. You can't injure him because he's got these regenerated. That's his power. He can regenerate himself. So that's all great, but he can't die. So X-Men 3, whether you like it or not, it gave there was an element of suspense there because there was actually a real danger there. That's what I liked. There was it Jean Grey? One of the X-Men was like, Rogue. It was Rogue in X-Men 3. She was like, I don't want to be an X-Men anymore. I don't want these powers. So she actually goes and voluntarily has this shot administered and loses her powers.
That is an interesting, story there.
That's why I liked it. They're all mindless entertainment. X-Men 2, same thing.
So you've been looking up a lot of podcasts? I mean, what do they talk about out there?
There's a couple of funny ones. I'm
just interested in what people talk about these days.
Kevin Smith has a really interesting one, and you can, if you go to YouTube, you can actually look up a lot of little snippets.
Fuck Kevin Smith.
And he was talking about, I'm just saying what he was talking about.
Take it easy, Matt.
Yeah. It's like whatever I want to talk
I know
about.
he made Red State, but...
No, he was talking about like Star Wars, what he feels about the new Star Wars movies and stuff, and he was talking about like Kenny Baker's like in his 70s and he's going to be in that R2D2 uniform and like in the R2D2.
Is he really
robot.
going to be?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And he's going to be like filming in the desert. And he's going to like die in the suit because he's so old.
I'm surprised they're doing that.
And then Chewbacca, Peter Mayhew's coming back to do Chewbacca.
He's a cripple, isn't he?
He had like knee surgery, so they were like saying this is going to be a really sad movie.
He doesn't have to be in the suit. I mean, they could get anybody at this state.
Well, you want Kenny Baker, Kenny Baker to be in there, but they were like, this is going to be a really sad movie. It was kind of mean. They're like, this is a really sad movie. It's like a dead midget and a crippled Wookiee. We're going to call it Star Wars, kind of.
Who does he talk to? Does he talk with Jason Mewes or?
No, it's him, and there's like another guy that he's got this show. I forgot the name of it. I'll just show it to you. Cool. But yeah, he talks about a lot of funny. He's really funny.
No, he is funny. Yeah.
So he was talking about Clerks. Clerks. This is the 20th anniversary this year of the original Clerks.
Oh, okay. Right on.
So he wanted to release Clerks 3 this year. He probably won't. He was supposed to like start shooting this year, I think. But he's got another horror movie coming out. He's got 2. He's got Tusk, and then there's a Christmas horror movie he wants to do.
That's kind of cool. Christmas horror movie?
Yeah. Well, he was saying
Silent Night.
Yeah. The Silent Dark Night.
We should make a trailer. Let's make a trailer for our movie. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. We already did.
Did we?
Reputation 2. No, fuck Hawkeye.
I knew that the old man must die.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Is that it?
You know what they really need to make is a really good... They need to make a good Superman movie.
I saw like an hour of Man of Steel. It was fucking stupid as fuck.
Man of Steel wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't a good movie.
You know what I notice about movies these days? That I just can't... They can't hold a shot for more than 2 seconds. The camera's constantly cutting. And it's just like, it's annoying to me. It's dizzy. There's no craft to it. It's just cut. It's just like... You know what I mean? That you can't even hold a shot for more than 5 seconds. I mean, it just doesn't even feel like
I know what you're saying.
It feels like,
I don't know.
Can't stand it. I know it's an action blockbuster, but that's just... Hold a shot for 5 seconds so I can see what the fuck is going on. Yeah. I want to see Godzilla, bro. Let's go see Godzilla.
I want to see Godzilla.
I hope they do a good job with that. I always like, hey, let's all go.
I've heard it's getting pretty good reviews. Yeah,
it looks amazing. It looks great. What about that Matthew Broderick film? Yeah.
Fuck that.
Did you see? Remember that one? Yeah.
That was the first movie I ever saw that I fell asleep.
Did you see in the theater?
Yeah.
You see the worst movies in the theater. You always tell me how you like. Well, Jason goes to hell. Oh boy!
Well, come on now.
Where's Jason?
It was still, come on. There aren't very many people my age that can say they saw Jason Goes to Hell in theaters.
No, I know that's cool. It's just that you said so disappointing.
It was disappointing, but at the same time, it was At the same time, it was cool to be 9 years old because I was.
You're
9
lucky
or 10.
to be. Wow, I can't believe they let you see that kind of a movie.
Well, I was with my dad. My dad took me to see it, and you can be with an adult to see an R-rated movie.
Wow, that's pretty bad. My dad wouldn't even let me see that, man. When she was fucking him and she got a spear, he goes, "You're not watching this shit." Not, you gotta have boundaries somewhere. No wonder you're so fucked up.
Okay, my uncle used to take me to see. My uncle took me to see Army of Darkness in theaters.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of cool, and that was R-rated, but it was all right. I mean, I didn't have nightmares for it. Yeah. But my uncle used to take me to see movies, and at the time, like when I was young, every movie we saw was great. Like we saw Last Action Hero. When you're like now, you're like the movie was shit. But back when you're a kid, like fuck that's a great movie. Fucking cartoon cat in the middle of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Like come on, man.
You like Predator, right?
No.
You don't like Predator?
No.
Really?
I don't like Predator.
Wow, are you kidding me? Oh, now there we got some discussion. Oh, you don't like Predator?
Nope.
Oh, so you cooked up a story and threw the 6 of us into the meat grinder.
Maybe you got to see it again.
I like how he says that though. Meat grinder.
Get to the chopper!
No, I like.
Do it!
I like when the guy just stands there and starts cutting himself. Billy, what are you doing?
I will eat you.
Stick around.
Put that cookie down.
That was good though. Stick around. Billy, no! What's wrong with Predator? It's got great kills, great suspense.
I don't
One of his
remember
best. He was badass. Oh,
I don't
we should
remember
watch
anything about
It's
it.
even got your man Apollo Creed.
Does it?
Carl Weathers is in it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't. Yeah,
Wow,
I don't know.
you should see it, man. That's a good movie.
It was a while ago. I just saw it and was like,
Wow.
wow, this is really underwhelming. And Predator 2 wasn't much better.
No. Isn't that Danny Glover and shit?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but
Danny Glover and like
Predator?
the chief from like Lethal Weapon, like it's a Lethal Weapon reunion.
You are gonna get some. You're gonna get some.
From the
some
five
hate mail.
From the 5 people that watch this,
Who's
it's like
that?
Glenn and like Amanda, like Predator was
Lenny
great.
Sherman. I am trying to put together my favorite all-time Let's Play Super Mario 3 moments that we have, because there are a few that really stand out. This is World 5 match for... Oh, fuck. It's not how you die, it's when you die.
This is from 1989 when disco was still gay.
I have that, and... Please don't touch me, Mr. Sandman, I'm a virgin! Like that. I can't help it, I'm so glad we got to put that together.
Please help me return my dildo so I can stick it up my ass.
Yeah. I'm giving the king his protein shake.
Here you go, you fat fuck.
Yeah. Liposuction. Anyway. Bye, Mario. I'm going up to the sky. It's funny. All right, we don't need that. Mario's going to a slumber party. Anyways. All right, man. Well, thanks for doing our podcast. You know, we need to do the ultimate podcast. All right, we're gonna have to do our homework, rack our brains. We're gonna have like the ultimate podcast. You know, we'll talk about everything.
Just take all of our 16 episodes or 15 episodes and string them together. There you go, 15-hour podcast.
Oh God.
Thingy, man, super gay podcast. You know what I did see? Well, this is our last topic.
All right, thank you.
I did see Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie.
Why?
I wanted to. It was Jay
All
and
right,
Silent Bob, man. I paid. I tried to find it on the internet and I couldn't find it. And on Amazon, you can rent it for like $4 or buy it for 10. So I bought it for 10. Worst $10 I ever fucking spent.
Oh, it wasn't good.
It sucked. I mean, there were some funny parts, but I mean, the animation was sloppy. Now I kind of knew that.
Is that with Blunt Man and Chronic?
Blunt Man and Chronic, yeah. They win the lottery
kinda
from
like
a
that.
scratch off, and they decide to become superheroes, and they got to go and fight like they've got fucking Cockknocker from Jay and Silent Bob. He's in it.
How they call you Cockknocker? Well, there's a long story. Anyway.
And Kevin Smith comes up in the middle of it like a cartoon Kevin Smith, and he's like, "I'm sorry, kids. I know that you're expecting Mark Hamill to reprise his role, but we're cheap, so we're not going to do that." So here's Mimi Driver.
Nice.
Yeah, it was disappointing. There's like
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah, it's only an hour long. It's like one of the enemies is like literally a giant penis that comes on people. It's like, seriously.
Typical Kevin Smith. Dick and fart jokes.
Yeah, I know.
Shut
Like
up.
it made me giggle. It was hard not to laugh at it, but at the same time, I'm like, this is fucking
Sucks.
stupid. This is as lowbrow as you can get.
Well, speaking of that, let's finish up this podcast. No, thanks, man. We'll do another one again.
They
real
should
soon.
remake Clerks with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dante.
I know what the blender can do, but can we get to the chopper?
All right, guys. Thanks
The
for
meat grinder.
the meat grinder.
That's how he says it.
The meat grinder.
Oh, that's a good story. So you did the 6 of us into the meat grinder. All right, yeah, I think we're done. Thanks for listening again, everybody. Hi, Mom. Happy
All right.
Mother's Day.
Happy
I
Mother's
gotta
Day.
get her a card.
Watch some good movies. And,
Yeah, we will. And
Stay
then
away
we'll
from
come
shitty
back.
ones.
All right.
And talk to you soon.
Good night.
Peace out.